Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Luxe Insider, a show in which I attempt to keep you abreast of the most luxurious brands, topics, and endeavors in the wacky, and at times, annoying world of luxury. I'm going to talk about some of the most prestigious watch brands in today's video. These outstanding watches are perfect examples of what it means to be an elegant, trustworthy, and fashionable timepiece. Let's get right into the video, shall we? Timepieces from Patek Philippe. Patek Philippe has been making luxury timepieces since it was founded in 1851. They have a unique selection of watches that are also highly functional. Everything is so incredibly classic in its design. This combination guarantees a level of sophistication unrivaled by any other high-end watch brand. Patek Philippe watches feature a variety of elaborate complications, including moon and star charts, perpetual calendars, and even horoscopes. These highly advanced technological methods of keeping precise time are expensive, but they provide a time teller that is truly unrivaled in its accuracy. The historical figure Queen Victoria serves as an example. Watches by Patek Philippe have been spotted on both Prince Albert and Christian IX of Denmark. All of these historical giants cement Patek Philippe's status as a royal label. The Swiss label has been around since 1851, and its name has been, and will be for the foreseeable future, synonymous with quality and sophistication. The most expensive Patek Philippe ever sold was the $24 million Super Complication watch owned by Henry Great Jr., in addition to the illustrious roster of royals who have been spotted sporting the exquisite timepiece. In addition to Robert Downey Jr. and Ellen DeGeneres, other famous people who wear Omega watches include John Mayer, Nicolas Sarkozy, and John Travolta. Omega has been the official timekeeper at the Olympic Games since 1932, which is just one of the many reasons for the brand's rise to prominence. Second, Omega was present during the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1960. Those two massive helpings of credibility may be the most noticeable, unless you're a Bond fan like me. I won't tell you if you are either. Multiple James Bond movies featured Omega watches. In 1995, we got our first glimpse of them. The Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean watch worn by Daniel Craig, the most recent Bond to sport an Omega, fetched over $250,000 at auction. Royalty such as Prince William and John F. Kennedy have worn the Swiss brand Patek Philippe. Some of the people being honored include John F. Kennedy, Elvis Presley, George Clooney, and Steve Carell. Omega watches can be found in a wide variety of designs and features, making them a flexible choice. Even with such a vast assortment, Omega has kept its hallmark air of refined sophistication. The luxury market is notorious for wavering brands. They could easily lose sight of their own specialization if they did that. Omega, on the other hand, isn't afraid to branch out, and it still expects to be treated with the same level of reverence as other top-tier luxury watch brands. These honors are well-deserved thanks to Omega's long history and current status as a forerunner in the ultra-premium watch industry. In fact, Omega watches were selected as the official timekeepers for combat units by the British Royal Flying Force in 1917. American soldiers did the same thing in 1918. Prices for Omega timepieces range from $1,000 to $700,000. Breitling. The concept of flight served as the impetus for the establishment of Breitling in 1884. The malicious layout, the timepieces, and the links used to make sure this watch is functional in any environment all take cues from the original. High-performance dive watches and pilot watches in general are Breitling's forte. If you're looking for a watch that can withstand rapid altitude changes while still keeping your cool, you might want to consider Breitling. Firefighters and astronauts alike appreciate the brand's durability in extreme environments, so if you can afford it, you should too. Breitling incorporates a chronometer into each and every one of their watches. There are also models that wind themselves automatically. Transmitters are yet another distinguishing feature of Breitling emergency watches. In 2003, two British pilots lost their lives when their helicopter went down in Antarctica. However, after activating their transmitters, they were saved. Even though the watch is designed to be as durable as possible, the brand still exudes class and sophistication. Like the Omega, a Breitling watch has made an appearance in a Bond movie. If you look closely during Thunderball, you can spot the Bond sporting version. In April of this year, the pricey Swiss watchmaker Breitling was sold for $870 million. John Travolta and David Beckham are just two of the celebrities often spotted wearing the luxury watch brand's $3,000 to $280,000 timepieces. Rolex is one of the most recognizable names in timepieces, Rolex is a must-have accessory for any fashionista. Rolex has created a paradigm shift in the high-end watch industry. The brand's widespread recognition is good for business on its own. However, it has successfully preserved its reputation as a high-end label. Among high-end timepiece manufacturers, it is the only name universally recognized. Rolex watches, like Omega watches, come in a variety of designs and functions, but they're all at the vanguard of watchmaking innovation. A Rolex watch is a good investment because, unlike many other watches, it will increase in value over time and can be sold for a profit. Some of Rolex's most well-known watches are the Submariner, Yachtmaster, and Date. Rolex's iconic watches may be more popular than ever, but peace is still made with. Symbol of prestige that is recognized all over the world. The Rolex Daytona and the Rolex Submariner, in particular, are perennial bestsellers. This trend seems to go hand in hand with ostentatiousness. The Lamborghini brand, for example, is well known throughout the automotive industry, but not everyone can afford to buy one. This is a huge victory for Rolex in the ultra-competitive luxury watch industry. The most recognizable names in high-end timepieces are a direct result of this trend. The first of our watches that is not Swiss is a Rolex. The language used is English. This company's roots are evident in the timeless elegance of their products. There have been multiple instances where Rolex has been included on Forbes' list of the most valuable global brands. And with over 2,000 watches produced each and every day, Rolex is the largest luxury watch manufacturer in the world. Famous people like Justin Timberlake, Mark Wahlberg, Orlando Bloom, David Beckham, and Kanye West all wear Rolex watches. The price tag on this fantastic label can go anywhere from $5,000 to $650,000. The Baudouin Rolex sold for $5 million in 2017, making it the most expensive Rolex ever sold. Vermont. Vermont is a cutting-edge British luxury watchmaker, is included on the same list as companies that have existed for centuries. Although Vermont is likely to be the video's least popular viewing choice, I felt compelled to include it because it is one of my very favorite states. At Vermont, we make pilot watches that are as fashionable as they are reliable. Notable celebrities who have worn this watch brand include Gordon Ramsay, Bear Grylls, and Tom Cruise. The Vermont Supersonic is my newest timepiece purchase. Like its namesake company, the Breitling was motivated by a Nick and Giles English. The company's founders have stayed true to the aesthetic that made their watches so well known by creating aircraft-themed, mechanically focused models with clean lines and proportionate faces. Each watch accurately reflects the values and aesthetic of the British manufacturer who made them. Mars Patek. The company was established in 1875 by Jules Louis Aumars and Edward Auguste Petit Aumars. Patek produces 36,000 of their high-end watches annually. Quartz Watches was created by this firm. It became known as the Royal Oak in 1972. Later in 1993, they debuted the world's first oversized watch, the Royal Oak Offshore. Aumars Baguette has been pioneering the watch industry for centuries, always being the first to introduce new innovations. The company is still owned by the original families who started it. Baguette, located in Haute, is one of the oldest horological companies in the world. Each has a sophisticated, aesthetically pleasing design on the front, proving this point. In the case of Aumars Baguette, the questions it raises are impossible to answer. If this brand of watch is at the bottom of the list, how can it claim to be timeless? This is by no means the smallest. For special events, I always make sure to wear an Aumars Baguette, as it is my favorite brand. Thankfully, I'm not the only one who thinks so. Celebrities like James Corden, Tom Cruise, LeBron James, and Usher are also big fans of the brand. Inexpensive at $7,000 to extravagant at $850,000 or more is the price range of these beautiful timepieces. Remember that time is money. As for my expertise in high-end timepieces, that's about it. I hope this video was informative and motivates you to put aside money for one of these masterpiece watches. This side Luxe Insider as usual. Like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Signing off.